Hey guys, it is time for my TBR reading vlog. Let's go ahead and recap what books I'm reading in this vlog. I do know which one I'm going to start with, but first of all, let's talk about what's on the TBR. We've got Keep It in the Family. I am definitely most nervous about this one, but you guys wanted me to read it, so hope we like it. Surviving Savannah. This one sounds like it's going to be interesting. It's a historical fiction about a luxury steamship that sank in 1838 with some of Savannah's elite on board, and they're kind of like later on people are trying to figure out what happened. Sounds interesting to me. I've got this memoir from Julie Andrews that sounds like she sent it to me personally. No, I have Julie Andrews' memoir, Home, and I have gotten that far into it, so I'm looking forward to continuing on with that. I'm not really a memoir girl, but this has been so interesting so far. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it. We've got The Girl in the Blue Coat, which is a World War II historical fiction, which is one of my favorite types of books to read. Tropes, is that? I don't know. It's one of my favorites. We've got The Gilded Years, which is about some socialites in New York City, I think. Got The Wedding by Nicholas Sparks, which is a companion novel to The Notebook, or maybe it's like a sequel spin-off. I don't know, something like that. And then finally, we have Something Blue, which is basically this woman and her fiance break up, and she goes off to London and tries to just like recreate her life. She tries to make it as glamorous as it was before, but realizes that that is not the reality of her situation anymore, and it's just kind of like her starting over, which I really cannot wait to get to this one. This is probably the one I'm most excited about in all of these, but here's the stack. We're gonna get into it. I'm also the elephant in the room. I am not at home right now. I'm actually at my grandma's house. Got some stuff going on at home that has to get repaired. Kind of a rough situation, but anyways, I am here at the moment, and I asked you guys in a poll which book I should start with, because normally I draw a little prompt to tell me what books I read in what order. You guys voted for this one, Girl in the Blue Coat. You chose World War II historical fiction. That is this book, and I'm excited to get into it. I hope I like it. If I don't, I'm going to be disappointed, because I bought this at a library book sale, so I paid a whole like $2 for it, so I better like it. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, I think you guys chose well so far. The first chapter is interesting, and I'm just going to keep reading. I've got to do my 70 pages for today for my short. So I'm going to try to read the first 7 chapters, which I think is the 70 pages. Yeah, I have to read up to chapter 8, so I'll keep going. Why they always gotta be PC. really bad lighting, so you can barely see me, but I have one more chapter to go for my short of the Gilded Years. I am interested in the story, but they were playing, like, in the Starbucks, they were playing, like, all the old throwbacks from, like, my high school years, like Lady Gaga and Rihanna and stuff. So it was very difficult to focus. But also I'm offended because they were playing it mixed in with, like, a whole bunch of oldies music. And so that's rude. But anyways, didn't get a whole lot of reading done. I still have another chapter, and they are longer chapters, so probably like 15 pages left to go. But the Starbucks is closing, so I had to leave. My video is taking forever to upload, so I am sorry that the video that I said was going up this past weekend, is not up yet. Even though this is like way in the past for you guys, but like for me, it's presently very annoying. So that's what's going on. But now I'm gonna head back and finish up that last chapter. So I was kind of like, what is the purpose of this secret tree thing? But apparently it's like a tradition at the school, and I don't know if that's a question mark or an exclamation point. Like, I can't tell if they're saying, like, is this still true or still true? Like, maybe the person that read this before me went there? I don't know. It's like a mystery, but I don't know. They've got like all these annotations in the book, which I always feel like that's so interesting to read, like what other people have written in the same book before you. I don't know. I just think that's interesting. Maybe some people that's really annoying. The downside to this is I have no Wi-Fi here, so that's why it's taking me forever to post. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm making it to page 96 now, and I have to say I think that this book is doing what The Vanishing Half could have done but didn't, and I very much appreciate that because I feel like where this is going is where The Vanishing Half should have. Of course, I'm like barely into the book, so I can't like say that. I have no idea where the rest of this book is going. It could totally disappoint me, but I feel like it's dealing with the main issues in such a realistic, not that I was there in, 1897 or whatever, but from what I've heard, a realistic and just like very, realistic way, and very well done. Staying on the plot. The plot is really more so, in my vague prompts, I said like fancy socialites, because I didn't want to like give away what the books actually were. Basically, this is based around this main character who is mostly white but part African American. It's 1897, and she has light skin and has basically like passed herself off to be able to go to Vassar. So she's like, no one's really aware. I don't know how to explain it. Like, she's basically just pretending that she is fully white so that she doesn't have any issues, and she's able to get this education that she should be able to get no matter what. And so it's basically this story where she is in her senior year and her roommate is like a fancy person from New York. Basically, that's my understanding. And she has all these fancy friends. And so it's just the story of the main character trying to keep her identity and who she really is a secret because she wants to be able to graduate and like be able to work and like have a normal life as she should. And so it's very interesting and very sad to like think that this was even an issue. Like, are you for real? But it was. And so I'm enjoying that this is doing what The Vanishing Half should have and did not do, in my opinion. So I'm continuing reading, got a few more pages of this chapter. It is a couple days later and I haven't updated you guys. I'm still enjoying this. It's a little slower than I would like. The chapters are longer than I like, but it's still a good story. I feel like they've made like the school year go by pretty quickly, but the storyline hasn't gone as quickly, and I have no idea how to explain that. They're really just living their lives. And now I'm not even sure if I can wait till tomorrow to see how this finishes, but I will try to do so. One more chapter though for tonight. The lighting is terrible, but I'm at a light that I'm going to be sitting at for a while. It's just one of those. Okay. Oh my gosh, the ending of this book. I did not see that last chapter coming, and I loved it. Oh my gosh, I would love to see like a sequel of this book. I guess, to be fair, the way that it wraps up, a sequel really isn't necessary, but I just love... Oh, the light's actually changing. Bye. I'm in the car wash, so who knows what you guys can hear, if you can hear me at all. This is probably terrible audio, I'm sorry. But oh my goodness. This book, like I was saying, I loved the ending so much. It low-key had me on the edge of my seat the last several chapters. I thought that it was going to be very anticlimactic. I thought that, you know, things would just kind of like work out, everything would be fine, and it would just kind of be like the story of this girl's life. First of all, I had no idea this was based on a true story, like a true person. I was starting to get that inkling towards the end, and I was like, is this a real person's story? That's crazy. And there were obviously some details kind of taken at liberty for the sake of a fiction book, but oh my gosh, you guys are not gonna be able to hear me with this. But it's wild to think that like 100 years ago this was the reality of the situation. Like, that's crazy. Gotta run my windshield wipers for a minute. All clean. Back in the day, that soap used to be multicolored, and it used to like cover the car. Oh wow, that's it. Anyways, my Rain-X was all worn off, so I needed to do this. And now it's back. Alright. I just loved this. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars, even though it's based on a true story. I mean, obviously, terrible timing on my part. Obviously, it's fictionalized, but I just thought that it was so interesting and well done. There are some really terrible people in this book that I just can't imagine people actually being like that, but they were. They sure were. And honestly, like, the real people sound like they were even worse. If you could imagine that. But I don't want to spoil anything, so there's not a whole lot that I can talk about with this. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it. Let's get on to the next book. All right. So I'm not thrilled that this is the next one, but it's The Wedding by Nicholas Sparks. What is my hair doing? I don't even know. Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. This is one that apparently Noah and Allie from The Notebook show up in, so people are like all for that, and I didn't really care that much about The Notebook. I know that's like heresy almost. I've never seen the movie, so I guess like if I did, I probably would care more. I don't know, it was like a fine story, but if you saw, gosh, my 24-hour reading blog, if you saw that one, you know all my thoughts on The Notebook. If you want to know my thoughts, go watch that video. I barely remember it. It really didn't stand out that much to me. Kind of, I don't know, just like the way that the time jumps in that one, it's just not super satisfying for me. But apparently they're in this book, and I'm gonna try it. Am I gonna finish it? We shall see. I'm not filming a 24-hour reading vlog right now, so I don't feel like I have to finish this, but I will at least try it. This was purchased in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Interesting fact. Okay, let me get into reading. I really want to read something else, but it's fine. Oh, I have 14 pages that I need to read for my short for tonight, so I'm definitely gonna read that and then see what I'm feeling afterwards. Also, the cover matches this room so perfectly. I really love that for this cover. Anyways, the aesthetic. All right. Initial reaction, I like this better than The Notebook. So far, it's really interesting. I'm not super focused just because I'm thinking about all the other things that I need to do tonight and this coming week. Really should just be focusing on the book I'm reading, but I definitely like it better than The Notebook so far. So, very excited. I don't know if I've talked to you in a few days. I'm just about to the end of this book. In fact, I'm going to finish it tonight as part of my 70 pages shorts. I like parts of it and I'm bored with other parts. Ironically, I'm bored with like the wedding parts. I just really don't care that much about like all the landscaping and everything. And it like goes into detail about it for like a whole entire chapter and I just don't care. But the actual relationship parts are very good. So that's how I'm feeling about this. Not really too much to add, but I'm almost done. So hopefully it ends well. Right now it's pretty mid, probably about a 3-star. But yeah, just gonna finish it up. Aw, that was a better twist than what I thought was gonna happen. The prologue on this book already. I'll talk about the wedding at another point, but I'm just diving right in because I'm filming my short, but I think I'm gonna like this one. I like the writing style so far. A whole lot of drama and nonsense happening in chapter 1 though, so we'll see about this. Okay, I just don't think that I'm gonna like this. I know in the last clip that I talked to you guys, I thought that I was. It just has a lot of things that I don't like in books, don't like in life, don't like in books, and I just don't really feel the need to read. And I can just like feel like me reading this is not gonna put me in the best like mindset, mood, the best place mentally. So I'm gonna go ahead and DNF it, which is unfortunate because I feel like it could be a good storyline but the execution is just not gonna be it for me. So now I've got 3 books to choose from, and I think I know what I'm gonna pick up next. Okay, I just washed my hair, so looking crazy, but like, if anybody had a license to just like go crazy and lose it and just be miserable and not do anything with her life, it's Julie Andrews. Like, she went through so much stuff and still became just like the most iconic, most poised, talented, just genuine seeming person. And I just feel like that's so inspiring because she went through some nonsense. Oh my gosh, the stuff that I read, and then it's like you'll read something and it's like one would think that's like the traumatizing event. No, there's more. There just keeps being more things that she went through in her life. Wow. I just feel like that's so inspiring. That your life really is what you make of it, no matter what kind of hand you've been dealt. Also, totally unserious, but I've got some Nerds gummy clusters from Valentine's Day. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you because I just think that that is so encouraging. That like, you can go through a whole bunch of really difficult things and still succeed, live a good life, experience good things. I don't know. I just think that's amazing. Some of the stuff that she went through. And she's not just like a crazy person, because this kind of stuff takes out people every day. So I think that she's extremely inspiring. Anyways, back to reading. Getting close to finishing this. I just have a little bit left to read. I'm just not in a reading mood, but I've got to do my short, so let's get into this. Okay, I finally finished this, and I am going to I think I'm going to try Keep It in the Family, because there's a solid chance I'll DNF that, so I'm going to try that next. I'm also still not home, in case you can't tell. And the lighting's really bad. Oh, that was weird. The part that I just finished on. I'm uncertain about this at best. I'm gonna keep reading, but I'm not like loving it. I did make it to chapter 10 though, so decent progress. But now I'm gonna make my short and I'm going to sleep.
is an update. I'm not loving this. There's a lot of mental health issues, and it's also dealing with some horrible treatment of children, and I just don't like that. And I know that you guys voted for this. I'm keeping my bookmark in for right now, but it's making me sad. And I just don't like it. And I still have 30 or 40, I don't even know, I'm so tired. 30 or 40 pages left to left to read to film my short. So I have one book left that I'm gonna give a chance and try to read like 40 pages, or as much of 40 pages as possible, because I don't know how I'm gonna read 40 pages, but I will try. It's like 2:30 and I just can't focus. And that book was just making me sad, so I'm gonna try the other one. I can't do it. I'm so tired. I think this is gonna be a good book. I can't focus right now. Please don't be mad at me for not succeeding at day 21 of my reading shorts. Update, this one's sad, but like in a historical fiction kind of way. It has a lot more language than I was expecting. Like, I don't know why, I just didn't think that this author had a ton of language, but I mean, yeah, it's just more than I was expecting. It's such a sad story, but I'm very engaged with it for the most part. I mean, I don't think that it's going to be 5 stars at this point. I'm only on chapter 14, just past page 100, but I'm kind of like, I'm not sure how this is going to last for a whole book that's this thick. I don't know. I'm just not seeing enough intrigue. Like, it's interesting, but I'm not like, how are we going to talk about this for 300 more pages? 200 more pages? I don't know. Whatever it is. I like that it's dual timeline. Actually, it's multiple perspective also. I like both of those in books. I like having when it kind of changes it up a little bit. And there are some good quotes in here. I wish I had my tabs with me. I don't have them here, but overall, it's much better than Keep It in the Family. I was just not doing well trying to read that book. I feel like I could have pushed through it. But honestly, I don't think that would be the best use of my time or the wisest thing when I was already like not loving it and it was making me really upset. So I just decided that I am going to DNF that one. I'm sorry, because I know that whoever voted in the poll last month, this is still January's TBR, whoever voted in the poll last month wanted me to read that book. Or like the majority of people wanted me to read that one. I had a feeling it would be a DNF, but I really did go into it, try to give it the best chance. I just couldn't do it. This one's fine. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. So, continuing reading. sitting in the car for a while. Didn't do my hair, so sorry if it looks like a mess, but I am just gonna get some reading done. I actually feel so bad because I didn't do 70 pages of reading yesterday, but I'm also just kind of like letting my last short work in the algorithm because it's finally like people are finally seeing it now, so it just didn't make sense for me to like force myself to read when I already had so much going on, and so that's why I didn't post. I don't know why I'm rambling, but I'm gonna get into some reading while I'm sitting here in the car. I would love to finish this and get this video up this week. It's only been like 2 months since my January TBR game, and I need to do a March TBR because I wanted to do a February one. Whatever, I'm gonna stop rambling and read this, but I think we're just gonna skip right to March. Anyways, finishing January's TBR. This is not remotely booktube related at all, but I found my digital camera and a horrifying, horrifying lighting, but video of me, like, I don't know what I was doing because there's no sound. Terrible angle. So terrible angle, terrible lighting. Okay. You guys are never gonna see any of these other clips, but I'll show you this one because I would just like to point out that apparently I have been videoing myself doing nothing for at least 15 years. Just want you to know that. Time to wrap this up. I've got exactly 70 pages left, so it's perfect for my short, and I'm gonna finish this book tonight, finally. All right, we did it. It's only 2 months later and I have finished the TBR. So last night I finished Surviving Savannah and I liked it. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. It really was interesting, and I think if I hadn't been reading it like very slowly through for my 70 pages a day shorts, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Maybe not. I finished it. I really like the dual perspective and dual timeline. I was hoping for more at the end. I feel like it was just kind of like the story went on and ended well, but it wasn't like, wow, that was really amazing. I still would recommend it if you enjoy historical fiction. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Liked it, 3 stars. You guys remember I DNF'd Keep It in the Family. I finished Home by Julie Andrews, which is really interesting. DNF'd Something Blue. I remember this vaguely. It was a good story, and I actually do like it better than The Notebook. Like, I found this much more engaging and interesting, so I like the characters better in this, even though some of them are the same. There is an odd element in here that, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of weird, but it's also kind of sweet, but it is weird. And then these 2 I read so long ago, I vaguely remember. I enjoy this for what it is, like just the history of education in the country, and the treatment of people. Like, this girl does
all the right things. She goes to this women's college, the first women's college in America. She has all the fancy friends and is with all these rich white girls. And they all assume that she's just like them, but she just has like an ounce of African American in her. That secret has to like stay hidden in order for her to continue to be in college and like live the life that she's living. Like, and what's crazy is this wasn't even that long ago. 1897. That's what things were like. That's just sad. But I loved the ending. I feel like this, well, yeah, I loved the ending. I was thinking of something else. I think it ends really well and really interestingly. Really, really enjoy this and recommend this book. Girl in the Blue Coat was fine. It wasn't one of my favorites. I think of all of these books, the only ones I'm planning to hold on to are The Gilded Years, Home, and possibly Surviving Savannah, because I might want to reread it at some point. Sorry, my books were sliding. I'll hold on to these, but the other ones I'm going to feature in a little free library video to come. So you'll see those again, but I thought that these were the best of this TBR. And I'm super happy to be done with this TBR because it lasted forever. March TBR is coming. It's not going to be necessarily a TBR game, but it is going to be a game. And if you know anything about March, I bet you can probably guess what kind of game it's going to be, because I have made this video for a couple of years now. So just a few hints for you. There is a game coming in March, but it's not a TBR game. So it's going to be a reading blog, but it's going to be a game. You guys will see. It'll come out eventually. But I'm going to actually go get started on that right now because it's going to take me some time and I want to get into it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what you've been reading. What has been your favorite book so far in 2025? And give this video, I said that already, give this video a thumbs up. What was the thing I didn't say? Oh yeah, subscribe, because I'm not only trying to get to 700 subscribers at the moment, that's my current challenge, but I am really trying to get to 1,000, and I really want to monetize this channel, because if I can monetize it, I can make more content, because I'd be able to justify spending more of my time reading if I'm getting paid for it. Just saying. It's not all about the money. It's about fun too, but if I was making money, I would be able to spend more time on it. Just saying. Anyways, I gotta go, and I'll talk to you all next time. Thank you for being here. Bye.